before doing my Kilmat video, I have to give you a quick lesson on decibels. The whole goal is to lower the decibels. So 30 decibels is an empty, quiet room. 60 decibels is normal talking like I am now. If you want to get 0 decibels, you have to get an anechoic chamber. Apple recently spent over $100 million making these. And they make you, if a human goes in there, they make you dizzy, you vomit, you hallucinate things. And the world record for a human to stay in one is 40 minutes. So they're not meant for humans. Anyway, 80 decibels prolonged exposure will give you hearing loss. 120 decibels gives you immediate hearing loss, and that is the sound of a jet engine. Now, you'll find this funny, baby crying is 110 decibels. All you parents out there, you all have hearing loss. So I will get a reading with my decibel meter of how loud my truck is before and after the Kilmat install. Okay, next I have about 25 to 30 hours into this, which is gonna cost you about $3,000 unless you do it yourself. And so far my cost is 150 bucks, so I saved $2,850 doing this. Real quick, these are the tools I use to do the job. Kilmat 80 millimeter, 2 boxes, a roller, a razor blade, rubbing alcohol, plastic baby spoons, a drill with a wire brush, a T50 Torx bit, 15 millimeter socket, a 14 millimeter socket, and a wrench, a plastic panel remover tool, tin snips, a 2x2 foot of sheet metal, spray can primer, 80 grit sandpaper, scissors, foil tape, painter's tape, clear adhesive tube, and a fiberglass repair kit. Now we'll do the video. Okay, today we're going to put sound deadening material underneath the carpet. I bought the Rise Pro decibel meter on Amazon. It was like 30 bucks. We're going to be quiet for like 5 seconds to get the quiet level reading. Basically, we're around 35 decibels in just a quiet room. Now I'm going to start the truck up, get that reading. 68 decibels. Now we're gonna go for a little drive. All right, now we're hitting the interstate. We're accelerating to interstate speed. About 84 decibels. Okay, I just turned the air off and accelerated to 35, and I still hit 84 decibels. So the air is less noise than what the engine is producing. Okay, on Amazon I went and I got Kilmat 80 mil. Don't even bother with the lower mil. I got 2 boxes of this. That should more than handle everything I need to do in my truck. You need a roller to press it down with. I went with a Lumetico. You need a 15 millimeter socket for the seats. Remove the cover on the left front seat and you have 2 bolts with a 15 mil socket. We'll get those off now. That same seat, the rear bolt on the inner side is impossible to reach. You have to move the seat all the way to the front. I've recruited some free child labor, 2 kids. It's okay, they're my kids, so it's okay. Anyway, Mason, put that on there, and we're gonna loosen that bolt till it comes out. Just twist that way. Good job. Okay, the seat bolts I'm taking out. They're a little rusty, surprisingly. Just for the heck of it, I'm gonna spray some fluid film on it. The clear version, which is supposed to inhibit the rust. All right, we got the 4 front driver's seat bolts out. Now to get the seat completely out, there's a connector down here, this electrical connector. I press that down and it pops out, see? All right, now we should be able to pull the seat out. That's it, you Oh, we got a penny alert. Let's see what we got here.
That's so dirty.
So dirty I can't even tell how old they are. We'll clean them up and check later. Okay, the front passenger seat was a little more difficult
I had to rip out the runner board here because it was 25 years old. The bolts were all rusted and spun out. So, and they were all scratched, so that we need new runner boards and new bolts and new fasteners. Front bolts for the seat were fine. The rears were not. My tool would not fit because it's like another 1.5 inches shorter depth. The rubber cladding I had to rip out because it was so short. I didn't have a tool for it, and it was rusted out. If I had a 90-degree screwdriver with the right thread, I probably could have got it. Ratchet wouldn't even fit in here, so I had to use a crescent wrench on that one. This one back here, the crescent wrench wouldn't work, so I was able to ever so slightly get my ratchet back there. So the passenger front, we have to take this connector off to get the seat out. So that's, I didn't actually detach the connector. I got it off this metal clamp. Now I can actually see what I'm doing. Wonderful designed Chevy seat. Detach that and it comes off like butter. Okay. All right, the cladding underneath the ER brake pedal comes off right there. And the other side. This is the center console. There's 2 bolts we're undoing, and that should pop right off. Okay, once you get those 2 bolts off the center console, it won't just pop right off. You have to shift, slide it up 1 inch north, and it'll slip off this metal apparatus and then pop right off. All right, we're ready to pull the carpet back. We got the jack assembly into the extended part of the cab. As far as you can tell, it's just 1 screw or 1 bolt, 13 millimeter. So we're doing a spot hit with the fluid film because I saw some rust on the floor bed. Just a little bit there in the seam, and I'll pre-mold it with my hand and avoid the hole for now until I get more comfortable with it. Starting to look real good. So I think that is a perfect spot for a first piece. What you didn't see, sorry, we didn't record, we rubbed this thing down with rubbing alcohol, 91%. If you don't do 91%, you will fail. Kidding. Not too shabby. So, we roll it with this sucker. Perfect. All right, I need the razor blade. Okay, so this we don't want covered in goop, so we have to cut that out. Ew, gross. Pretty good if I don't say so myself. There we go. There is no wrong answer to this puzzle. I will get better with each piece. And I have a lot of extra, so I can cut up some really weird looking pieces. What I might do is get some tape, some Teflon tape, to get the seams taped. Kind of reminds me of back in my clay pottery days back in high school. That is ready to go on.
Wait, so the hole doesn't matter? You can cover the hole?
Nope.
No? Okay.
Thank you for reminding me. Where's the hole?
You're underneath.
Okay, right there's the hole. So, cut the hole for the nut. It's so goopy. Perfect. I quite enjoy this. Surprisingly, the bed of this truck is mostly rust-free. It's just in the stupid seams where they welded it and then they caulked it. That's where it's been rusting through. The driver's side is another issue. We got a little lumpage here, but that should be totally fine. Let's roll it out real quick. What not to do. I forgot to get the little angle tool for the really tight angles, and I was hoping I could just slide it on this. What I did is I ripped the top layer there. So in the morning, I should cut off with just a tiny little piece and repair that. And I need a little edge tool so I can do a better job. Okay guys, I screwed up. When I ordered my parts on Amazon, I forgot the edging tool. I just got the roller. Luckily, I have kids and I have plastic spoons. They make the perfect edging tool. Look at that. Better than what you would buy on Amazon. And I have like 100 of these stupid things. All my kids are grown up. Anyway, problem solved. And I mean, look at how good of a line I made using this baby spoon, plastic spoon. You just take the edge here. Perfect. 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 And for something a little wider, do the big part of the spoon. You can't buy a tool better than this on Amazon. Not too impressed with this tool. Just saying. Anyway, I don't want to go any higher because I have some fluid film. The clear, not the black. Because I have a little bit of rust and some seams here. The driver's side is a little bit worse. So I'm gonna coat this for the 4th or 5th time today. Let it soak overnight. Reapply the rubbing alcohol. Clean all the grease off, and then put the Kilmat over the top of it, and we should be okay. Don't forget to cut out the holes for your seat bolts. And then here's a little clamp, and there's a lot more obstacles on the driver's side. We're gonna have to cut around. You can hear the difference on where it's been laid and not. Definitely sounds better. Just kind of place it loose where it's gonna go, and then mold it with your hands to the mold of the floor bed. That's good. Now we'll just peel back the bottom 1/4 of the paper. That's good. Peel back a little more. Keep going. Use our roller. Then we'll use our baby spoon tool. Thank you for growing up, Mason, so we don't need it anymore. That's it for that piece. I'll continue doing this throughout the truck. A little tip, this corner is very hard to maneuver with the full-size sheet of Kilmat, so I pre-molded a whole sheet and then sliced it in half, and I was able to put the half piece in without screwing up the whole thing. Okay, some of these angles are just impossible to work with, so with the piece on, fold back and see where your excess is at, and then you can just take like this spoon or whatever, marker tip, make an indentation where you want to cut it, which I'm going to do now. There, that worked out pretty good. Don't worry about just a teeny bit of overlap. This roller can really press it down so you don't even notice. Plus, we're going to be taping the seams at the very end, so it's not a big issue. You can actually reuse the paper that you peel off the back and create templates for these really weird angles, little small pieces you have to cut out. Works pretty good, actually. I'll just set that on top of a slice of Kilmat and cut it out to shape. Here was an interesting spot. It kind of had like an air bubble and I couldn't get it out, so I just I took my X-Acto knife and made a slice, a couple little slices, and then the air popped out. Next, I bought 3M foil tape. I'm gonna get all the seams, but this spot where I cut a hole for the air bubble, I'm gonna hit that now so we don't forget about it later. All right, Mason, knock. Okay, your side is done, my side is not. Difference?
Yeah.
So my boys are gonna tape the seams with this 3M foil tape. This cord, zoom in on, you see this right here, this black pad goes into the floor bed of the cab, and then this cable wraps around, and look at that damage. Zoom in on that. I have no idea what would have done that, but it was like a rat was in there chewing on the cable. Anyway, it goes up, kind of go underneath here. It goes up underneath the dash, I think into the steering column. So I got to figure out what that is, and for now I'm just gonna like put some duct tape on this because it's a bare wire. So, okay, I'm gonna use black tape, not duct tape. The core of the wire looks intact, so. All right, I need your scissors. We got the Kilmat installed all the way up to the level of the seat belts, which require, I got a 3/8 drive. They need the T50 socket. This has an electrical connector. There we go. Now for the T50. All right, set that aside for me, would you? Put it on the left, by the left seat. Okay, right seat belt attachment. Notice no connector on this side. Curious. I need to figure that out later. As you can see, we have some rust. Below that is a body mount. I'll show you. Had the same problem in the front body mount. So I'll take a wire brush, grind that rust off, and then spray it with some anti-rust spray and let it soak for a long time. The other side looks good. This, I don't know what this is. It's completely rusted off. The other side is completely gone, so hopefully I don't need that. These rubber pieces, they were beneath every seat bolt. I saved most of them. So with this tool, wire brush, I was gonna just peel off the surface rust, and it poked right through. So here's the body mount cover. Look inside there. It seems pretty good on the inside, but this top cover rusted completely through. I don't know why. Anyway, I need a new body mount cover, if I can find one of these. I sprayed a ton of fluid film clear on these questionable rust spots, especially this body mount. I just completely soaked that. And I'm gonna let that soak for as long as I can stand to wait. All right, last challenge before we get the carpet out all the way. Jack storage, 8-inch bolt. You can see with my Steelers hammer, I'm just hammering it to the left and to the right until this thing pops right out. Now that I've got it loosened up, I'm just gonna shake back and forth until it pops right off. Okay, good news. I was able to get it off without having to completely shear this off. The nut, if you hammer it to the left and the right, will pop out from the base. The base being there. If you hammer it to the left and the right and to the northwest, southeast, the nut will pop out of that and then the whole thing will come right off. By the way, the only video on YouTube I found with this, the guy grinded it off with a grinder and it was a terrible video. This is so much easier and you're left with, you can put this back together again. Okay, we have the rear carpet removed. The whole carpet is gone. To do a proper install, I have to take this back seat out. It's stupid, but the last inch of carpet, I need to cut out a couple of holes for the seat. Otherwise it's gonna bind when I put the new carpet in. Anyway, the side plastic piece here, it comes out like so to access the bolt. Once you do the one side, the other side is super fast. They threw me for a big loop here. I had to whip out the big 15mm nut to get that out. Bigger than the front seats. Smaller back seat, bigger nut. Good to know. Now to take this rear seat out. Got that big 15mm with Mr. Mason. How old are you, Mason? 13? 12, 10. I was close. Even a 10-year-old can do this job. Better than me, probably. I hope we don't have to hold the nut on the bottom at the same time. That would suck.
I swear. You notice the difference? Tighter.
Okay, my little boy was right. I had to have a wrench on the bottom, which is very hard to jam in there. But it worked. 15 on the top, 15 on the bottom. My 97 Chevy K1500. I'm putting in soundproofing mat. There's a round circle in the front. It's a cap that comes off. Underneath it is a body mount, which is that. See it? Okay. There's one on the other side. Anyway, I'm not worried about those. Those aren't rusted out. It's the rear ones. The oval right here. Completely. I put my hand right through it. That one rusted out. This one looks good. Nope. That one, same, it'll be the same. That one will be the same. So one, two, 3, 4, 5. 5 of these oval pieces that cover up body mounts, which I'll show you another one. Body mount. Body mount. Now, the one in the middle here, there's no body mount. It's just the drive shaft. So, what's the point of this? Another problem. What the heck is that? Is that like a drain hole? When I pulled the carpet off, I have a hole there. Same one on the other side. Drain hole, I guess if you drive through deep water, it'll leak out through that hole. I don't know what that's for. Another one here. Probably another one over there. Let me go check real quick because I forgot to cut it out, if so. Yup. I forgot to cut that out. Okay, so back to my point. I want to replace all 5 of these rusted out, I'm going to call them body mount plates. Issue I'm having is I called an auto parts store locally, and they had no idea. I spent 10 minutes on the phone while they were on hold, and they're like, we don't carry anything like that. We don't even know what you're talking about. So I upped my ante. I just so happened to be getting my other vehicle fixed at a transmission shop. So I called them and I was like, hey, you know, I have these things in my truck. What are they? What are they called? Can you replace them? They're like, I have no idea what they're called. We only deal with the drivetrain, so you're gonna have to call an auto body shop. We have one next door. So I called the next door, the auto body shop, and they said, I was on the phone for like 20 minutes. They had no idea what it was. I even sent them pictures. I called another auto body shop. Same story. No idea. Wasted 15 minutes. So then I called a Chevy dealership. We went as far as me sending them pictures of what I just showed you. And they had no idea what it was or if they could replace that part for me. And they said they would call GM or Chevy on my behalf a little bit later on in the day to figure out what it was. 12 hours later, surprise, nothing. I did that same phone call with a second GM dealership, Chevy dealership. Nobody called back. What are they called? Where can I buy them? How much are they? All right, today we ripped out the rear vertical piece of carpet on the back window and the piece of plastic right above it. Sucks, but part of that plastic did not detach from this clip. It actually ripped off, so hopefully I can get it back on without it flapping around. As you can see, we're almost done. Here's some of the craftsmanship I'm pretty proud of. As you can see, look at that. Those 4 corners that I cut. Couple 3 triangles and then a weird shaped triangle. We're gonna get every piece covered. Now it's time to tape these seams because I'm starting to get gunk on the bottom of my sandals. Anyway, I wanted to give you an example of what I have left. Long skinny piece. Long skinny piece. So I decided for this cut, take a full sheet up to the seam there. It's gonna reach a long ways. Now I have this to worry about, so just bend it as close as you can get to the seam, and then you can see these predefined like grid throughout this Kilmat slice. Lets you kind of like measure by bending. Now I have a cut point all the way down. So we still have a little bit of sheet metal uncovered, so I'm just going to cut right on top of that. So we have this beautifully cut piece. Go up higher so you can get a down view. Keep pulling the film away as you press. perfect. Roll that sucker. Another perfect example of how to place these in hard spots. You can see I've pre-molded it to the area I'm looking for right here. Cut out where those bolts are. Here's the fit. Perfect fit. All the indentations I've massaged in. She's ready to go. Now, let's see if I can do this without screwing it up. Good so far. That is perfect. If they all went that smooth, I would be a happy man. Okay, I have 5 of these plates in my cab. I'm hoping I can pop this out. There's a little tab there. I don't know if I can reuse that gasket. At least now we have a template. I bought this 2x2 piece of sheet metal. Should work. I mean, you see how thin this is. The sheet metal's thicker than this is. Thank you, GM, or Chevy, for designing something so crappy. With a marker, we'll trace out our shape. Oh yeah, that's gonna work. Trim off the corners. Yeah, it looks pretty good, actually.
That actually compare it. Pretty good.
Now, I think this is shot, so I'm gonna have to use some new caulk. Basically, we got a new plate. And since it's bare sheet metal, I'm gonna etch it up with some sandpaper, prime it, paint it, buy some caulk, apply it to the underside and the top. And I'm gonna put some Kilmat on the bottom and the top. Basically, it's a non-replaceable part. It's been discontinued. You can't buy it. You're gonna have to make your own. Okay, the website I just showed you is for the 4 truck cab drain holes. 1-inch flush mount rubber plug. I'm gonna X-Acto knife away a little bit of a lip here so I can put the plug in and then use this clear adhesive sealant to get it to bind rubber to metal. And here's what the old plugs look like. I can poke my finger through them. So I don't want to try and put those back in. In fact, 2 of the 4 are completely gone. They just like disintegrated and fell away into the highway at some point. Okay, I have the Kilmat backed off the hole a little bit. All 4 drain holes. Now I'm gonna apply some of that adhesive in the underneath lip. Snap it in securely and then do the outer lip, let it dry, and then put a layer of Kilmat over the top. That was quick and easy. They all snapped in real good. They have adhesive on the bottom and on top. Next, we will prep the oval mounts. I'm gonna scuff these up real quick with just some really heavy grit sandpaper. Got a nice little scuff on them. Wiped them all down with rubbing alcohol. And then I pounded all the high edges, straightened them on the cement with a hammer. I'm gonna spray some gray primer on. We're gonna go with Rust-Oleum Stops Rust Automotive Primer. After that coat dries, we'll put on Rust-Oleum Black. Okay, first coat of primer is on. I tried to hit the perimeter edges as well. I'm gonna flip in about 2 minutes and do the other side. All right, time to coat the other side. Okay, next you can see I took a blue marker and I traced out using my template. All right, I decided to skip the black top coat. I'm just gonna do a real second heavy clear coat, just because it's just gonna get covered in Kilmat on both sides, so I don't really want to wait the extra 4 hours each side for it to dry. Okay, I got a ton of time into laying this Kilmat. Probably up about 20 hours at this point. I need to start the remaining items. I need to start actually finishing them instead of getting distracted by other things. So these plugs, I cut out some Kilmat circles to cover them. I'm gonna cover them and tape them and be 100% done with these drain plugs. I already lost the nut to my roller. So much for durability. I have no idea where it is and I don't have a replacement, but hopefully it'll hold up. Covered like that. Now I'm gonna tape it. Taped up, good to go. Now I'll do this 3 more times. All right, we lucked out and like 3 of these panels turned out not rusty on the underneath, so I could reuse them. The ones I fabricated, here's one I just got done. I caulked the underneath and then the top part. Once it dries, I'll put some Kilmat over the top. Should be good as new. There's another one I have pre-cut it out. Just need some caulk and we should be done. Okay, we got cab mount 1 done, 2 done, 3 done, 4 done. Number 5. I cut the caulk away and found the whole seam is rusted out. So next up is our fiberglass resin kit install. Without further ado, it's time for our Bonda fiberglass repair kit stage 2. Whatever that means. We got the resin. About 1 ounce of the resin. You need 10 drops of this crap. You need to dump it in this cheap plastic container. Stir it up with this spoon. And then press the fiberglass mesh down with this dandy tool. Cut this piece out. Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't want it that long. See how the edges are so frayed? And little microscopic pieces of fiberglass are floating in the air right now. Okay. Hardener. Pierce it by reversing the whatever you lied. There's no pierce button on that thing. Fort knocker. Instructions lied. Okay, here we go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright. Mix this bad boy. Alright, we'll take our 1 ounce mixture. Actually, now that I think about it, I want it 2 ounces. Because I'm not bending over again coming out here. Here we go. 2 ounces. Maybe a little more than 2 ounces. Whatever. Doesn't matter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10. Mixy spoon. Mixing done. Grabbing my super expensive spreader. This whole kit was 19 bucks. And my 2 chunks. Alright, first, as you can see, we have in the whole cab, this was the only spot where sunlight came through. it rusted out. So we're gonna paint the opening with this resin. This is the only paintbrush I had, brand new. I didn't have plans for it, but probably cost about 2/3 of the cost of the whole kit. Okay, now for the magic. Now I'm kind of not happy how you can't cut and get these frays off, but whatever, I'm over it. Should have cut more. We'll just apply some more resin. Stuff is like dog hair and gears. This stuff is so touchy. Hand me some more of that cloth. And the scissors, I have to cut out another 2-3 sections. Okay, I have some more pieces cut out. I'm gonna try and get a second coat on here. The brush is already shot. I'm thinking I should just dip it in there. Alright, dipped it in there. Way better. Screw the paintbrush, or forget the paintbrush. We'll just do it by hand. This paintbrush is a joke. Just dip it in and wear plastic gloves. Last piece. Before this dries up, I need to cut a couple more pieces out. If you would hand me some more cloth. The hardener is almost solidified. Again, we're just not using a brush. We're just coating it in, using rubber gloves. All the paintbrush did was make the material just pop right up. All right, last piece. This hardener is already almost to the end of its life. Ooh, it's very hot as well. The chemical process has made some heat.
Oh wow, it really is actually.
All right, we'll let that dry. Grab me a little more like compounds. I'm going to just dab my finger in the gap. Mix some more of that solution. Now I'm using my finger as a paintbrush. Both fingers. Wow, that's hot. Oh my god, I'm melting my glove. Ah!
Why are you still doing it then?
Because I want this to be over with. And my quads are killing me. I think that will harden nicely. But I can't do any more without letting it cure for an hour or two, whatever it says it needs. All right, we're just gonna try and get up to 35 miles an hour because that's the mark we're looking for. 84 is what I was getting, but I can tell the difference already just being inside here.
It sounds quieter to me.
All right, 80.5. So we have a 3.5 decibel improvement. That's very good.
That's pretty good.
Okay.